I've been thinking a lot about why are some people able to make changes, lifestyle changes, and other people are not. Why are some people able to get control of their health and others are not? Why are some people able to get control of their finances and yet others are not? A lot of people, they have similar backgrounds, they have similar upbringings, similar levels of education. What is it, that is making some people have that, some people call it, that edge or, that secret sauce. Some people, they refer to it as, luck or, just what have you. But what is it really? When it comes to health, when it comes to making dietary changes, fitness changes, I think what it comes down to is, in my experience, is whether or not people are able to fully identify their pain and what is causing their pain. So if you knew for certain, we want to believe that those things we're eating are just having a little impact. We don't want to believe that they're having a tremendous impact, that they are, really, really robbing us and hurting us. But I was thinking about an old concept that an old friend taught me, which is the demand for change. You hear a lot of people say, well, I hit rock bottom. Is hitting rock bottom a prerequisite to making change? Do you have to hit rock bottom in order to change for the better? Not necessarily, but the demand for change has to be greater than, or let's say that the demand for change has to be equal to one's pain, whatever that might be. So if you can identify what is your pain, and then how is that affecting you? How is your pain affecting your life? How is it affecting you? So let's go back to my pain. June 2020. I am in so much pain. What was my pain? Well, my pain was that I had tremendous amount of brain fog. I had no mental clarity. I was losing my memory. My creativity was gone. My motivation was gone. My ambition was gone. Everything was shot. Okay? That was one. The other thing was I couldn't digest or process foods. I couldn't eat my own nutritional products. That was discouraging because the shakes were making me sick. What else? They'd always would, but I couldn't eat hardly any. I didn't even know what I could eat anymore because everything I would eat would just haunt me and cause me so much distress. Emotionally, I was completely gonzo. I was angry. I was sad. I was distraught. I was operating from a place of scarcity, desperation, fear. I was so far gone. I was lashing out at the people that I loved the most. I was totally off base in my assessments of what was. Didn't know it at the time, but I was. And just everything was just completely... But here's the funny thing. This was not born of some climactic thing. This was accumulative. This had built up over years and years and years of mistreatment of my body. And I didn't do it by intent. It wasn't by design. I didn't realize I was doing it. You see what I'm saying? So did it take me hitting rock bottom in order for me to recognize that there's a pretty big demand for change here? If I'm going to make anything of my life from this point forward, okay, at 40 years old, then something's got to give. And I identified that pain. The pain was so severe and it was so strong and it was so vast. And I was able to identify that pain and identify that it was robbing me of my life. It's robbing my kids of a good father, robbing my wife of a good, productive, and attentive and happy husband. I recognized that pain. I identified that demand. And if you can get there, you see, I can put 10 people on a nutritional protocol. Some need it a lot more than others. There's some that need it a lot more than others, okay? But not all of them are going to succeed, and I know that. Not all of them will keep with it. Not all of them will get through the hard times. Why? Some of them that need it more than others, they'll quit first. Why? It's because the demand for change has not been established, and only they can do that. I can't do that for them. I wish I could, but I can't, and nobody could do it for me. I had to get to a point where I didn't even recognize myself anymore. I remember looking at the mirror, looking in my own eyes and thinking, who the hell are you? This isn't what you are. This isn't your normal. And then I had to start really saying, what am I going to do about this? That's when I started being open-minded, and I started seeking out the right kinds of people and information. And that's how people always talk about this law of attraction and the universe, and they always refer to all these kinds of things like get clear on what it is you want, and then the universe will go to work, putting those things in your life. Great, that sounds really cool and artsy fartsy and all of that. It's just, that's common sense if you really think about it. Go buy a car, you'll start seeing those same cars everywhere. So whatever you consciously put in your brain about what you want, you're going to start seeing, you're going to start identifying, you're going to start attracting. That's just a given, right? But until you recognize that pain, stop rationalizing, stop justifying, stop making excuses, stop pretending, okay? Stop pretending it's not affecting you. Stop pretending it's not hurting you. Cut it out. Be real. Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Stop hiding. Stop faking. Stop lying. That's what I had to do. And when I finally got right with myself, and I was honest with myself about what I was going through, things started to show up in my life. And at that point, because I had identified the pain, because I knew the demand for change was so significant, I was ready. I was in a place where it was, okay, it's time to do something about this. I remember that critical moment where my wife looked at me. She said, Sean, I don't even recognize you anymore. I said, what are you talking about? Because I was still proud and I was still justifying. I was still rationalizing. So what are you talking about? Don't recognize me. She said, Sean, you're not the same anymore. You used to have all these these motivations. You used to have all kinds of discipline. You used to be ambitious. You used to be an achiever. You love challenges. I don't recognize you anymore, Sean. And I said, I work out. And she goes, well, yeah, but there's so many other things, just because you work out, that doesn't mean that you're well. That doesn't mean that it's all, you got your stuff together. I took it as a personal challenge. I felt something burning inside of me. I thought, is she right? Like, who knows me better than her? Is she just saying this to hurt me? Is she just saying this because she's jealous of me? Is she saying this because she's in a bad state and needs to lash out at somebody? But then something clicked. I thought, something's got to give, man. Something's got to give. I have got to get feeling well. And then things just started showing up in my life. This is where ᴱᴿShred was born. All the different components of ᴱᴿShred converged so quickly. And it was just all so clear and gave me back my health so fast. And that's what it's doing for so many others. Now, is it a fit for everyone? No. Why? Because the demand for change has to come from them. They have to be able to identify their pain. That's where it's at. So, have you identified yours? Have you? Do you have the quality of life that you'd hope for? Are you able to do what you want to do? Are your relationships where you would hope for them to be? Do you enjoy what you do? Do you get out and are you active like you'd hope to be? Are you improving? Are you setting goals? Are you motivated? It all has to come from you, man. That's why motivational speakers is all this stuff. Like, I'm sorry, but it has to come from within. Otherwise, it's all extrinsic. It's all stuff that motivates you, but it's not sustaining. It has to be born from within. And you can find that. Everyone can find that. If you've ever seen anybody do something miraculous, you must understand that it came from within them. Not their coaches, not their trainers, not their everything, not their... No, it's them. It's born from them, it's born from within, and only they deserve that credit. Okay? So find it. Find that motivation. It's deep within inside you. What is your pain? Do you see the demand for change? Then it's time for change.
You say take me on a treasure hunt. I